guys, this is Cooking with Kurt, and today I'm going to show you how to make a red ribbon inspired red velvet overload cake. This cake has red velvet crumbles on the outside, just like the Ube Overload design. Red velvet cake was requested by YouTube users Jen Kalamno and Wida P. So a shout out to Jen and Wida, hope you guys like this video. To start, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, then take two 9-inch round cake pans and line them with parchment paper. Then soak 2 cake strips in water for about 5 minutes, squeeze off excess water, and place the cake strips around the cake pans. This will cool the sides of the cake as it's baking, so the sides of the cake don't cook faster than the middle. This will prevent the cake from doming in the middle as it bakes. If you don't have any cake strips, you can watch my Ube Overload video at the 22-second mark to see how to make your own cake strips using just paper towels and aluminum foil. When you have your cake pans ready, in a big mixing bowl, sift in 2.5 cups of cake flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then in a separate bowl, add in half a cup of butter that's been softened to room temperature and 1.5 cups of sugar. Beat these together on medium speed for about 1 minute. Then add half a cup of vegetable oil, 4 egg yolks, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Beat this together till just combined. Now we're going to alternate between adding the dry ingredients in a total of 1 cup of buttermilk, approximately 1/3 at a time. While mixing on low speed, add in 1/3 of the dry ingredients, mix that in, then add 1/3 cup of buttermilk, mix that in, then again with the dry ingredients, then buttermilk, until you've added all of the dry ingredients and all of the buttermilk. Then add 1 tablespoon of red food coloring and mix it in. I use gel coloring because it gives the cake a more vibrant red color, but you can also use liquid food coloring. Here I'm using the Americolor Soft Gel Paste Super Red. Next, take a stainless steel or glass bowl, add 4 egg whites, and beat them on high speed for about 3 minutes till you start to see stiff peaks, like this. Gently fold this into the cake batter 1/3 at a time till the batter is smooth and silky. Then divide the batter between the 2 cake pans. We're going to bake these cakes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Invert the 2 cakes onto wire racks and let them cool for about 5 minutes. Once they've cooled for a bit, it should be easy to lift off the pans. Peel off the parchment paper and let them cool completely to room temperature. While the cakes are cooling, we can work on the frosting. Take a large mixing bowl, add in 16 ounces of cream cheese and 1 cup of butter that have been softened to room temperature, and beat them together on medium speed for about 2 minutes until it's nice and smooth. Then while beating, add in 4 cups of confectioner's sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream or milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and half a teaspoon of salt. Beat together on medium speed for about 3 minutes until it's all completely combined, smooth, and creamy. Set this aside. When the cakes have cooled completely, take a serrated knife and cut each cake in half horizontally, like this, so we end up with 4 cake halves. We're going to use 3 of the 4 halves for assembling the layers of cake, and the last half will be used to make the outer crumble. Take the 1 half for the outer crumble and tear it into pieces by hand, then spread them out evenly onto a baking sheet. We're gonna bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for another 20 minutes. This will let the cake pieces dry out a bit so the outer crumble has more of a matte finish. After 20 minutes, Let these crumbs cool to room temperature. Then put them in a food processor and pulse for about 1 minute until you get fine crumbs. Like this. Now we're ready to assemble the cake. As always, I'm using my glass cake stand. Then take some parchment paper and cut out 4 square pieces of parchment paper, about 6 by 6 inches, and place them so that they cover the bottom of your cake stand as much as possible. Place 1 cake round directly at the center of the stand, cut side up. You're gonna see after we're done that we're gonna pull out these square pieces after the cake is assembled, which makes the cleaning of excess icing and crumbs a lot easier. Cover the top of this first cake round with 1 cup of frosting as evenly as possible. Add the second layer of cake on top, cut side down, and spread another 1 cup of frosting on top. Finally, top with the third and last layer of cake, cut side down, so the top of the cake is as flat as possible. Then spread frosting on top and on the sides of the cake, like this. I'm not using a Lazy Susan, so I'm just rotating the cake stand to smooth out the sides and then flatten out the top. And remember to save enough frosting to make rosettes at the end. Next, take the red velvet crumbs and gently press them on the sides of the cake and sprinkle them on top till the cake is fully covered. Make sure to create sharp corners at the cake's circumference edge. Then put the remaining frosting in a piping bag and pipe 16 big rosettes at the top of the cake, about 1 inch away from the edge. Once you've finished decorating the cake and are happy with the way it looks, hold the cake wall firmly with a spatula and pull out the parchment paper pieces from under the cake, and clean off any leftover crumbs or icing around the cake. Put this cake in the fridge till you're ready to serve it, then leave it out at room temperature for about 30 minutes before serving for the frosting to soften up again before cutting. And there it is, our red ribbon inspired red velvet overload cake. Ang sarap! Wow. This cake is so moist. It has that signature fluffy texture, and it looks like a red velvet version of our favorite Ube Overload cake. Please let me know in the comment section below if you're planning to make this red velvet cake, and if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt. Maraming salamat!